If you've been putting in the work, showing up to the gym, eating what you think is the right food, pushing through the tough days, and still not seeing the progress you expected, you're not alone. Welcome back to Healing Path, where we break down the truth behind sustainable fitness, real health, and the habits that actually move you forward. Today, I want to talk about something almost every lifter, every athlete, and every person trying to transform their body has faced at some point: the hidden mistakes that silently kill your gains. You might be doing everything right, but these 3 mistakes can hold your body back more than you realize. And what's even more surprising, they're usually not the mistakes people assume. So sit tight, because if you can understand and correct these, you'll finally feel like the hard work you're putting in is actually paying off. Let's start by acknowledging something most people won't say out loud: making physical progress is hard. Not impossible, but definitely not as effortless as many social media clips make it look. You're bombarded with quick fixes, shortcuts, miracle routines, and conflicting advice. Train harder. Train smarter. Eat more. Eat less. It's no wonder people get confused. That's why today's message is about clarity. Instead of adding more complexity, we're stripping things back to the 3 core mistakes that sabotage progress more than anything else. These aren't random mistakes, these are the patterns I see over and over again in people who are working hard but still stuck. The first mistake is something every motivated person struggles with at some point: you're training harder but not necessarily better. Most people in the fitness world have been conditioned to believe that intensity solves everything. You're told to push yourself until you sweat buckets, grind until failure, stack plates on every lift, and chase soreness like it's a sign of progress. The problem is that the body doesn't grow from chaos. It grows from strategy. There's a big difference between working hard and working effectively. Some people are in the gym 5 or 6 days a week, but every session looks completely different. One day they go heavy on chest. The next they randomly hit arms. Then they jump into a high-intensity circuit they found online. They might even be lifting with great effort, but without structure, the body has no consistent signal to adapt to. Muscle growth comes from progressive overload, gradually and purposefully increasing the stress on your muscles over time. But if you're constantly switching exercises, guessing your weights, or training with no clear long-term plan, your progress stalls. Another part of this mistake is ego lifting. Be honest, have you ever loaded more weight than you could control just because it felt good to push your limits or look strong in the moment? Almost everyone has. But when the weight is too heavy, your form breaks down. You stop challenging the target muscle and start letting momentum do the work. Over time, that not only kills gains but increases your risk of injury. A muscle doesn't grow because you move a weight from point A to point B. It grows because you challenge it with tension, stability, and control. When you understand that effective training is about the quality of each rep, not just the quantity, you stop wasting time. A well-structured workout performed with intention will always beat a chaotic, high-effort session that looks impressive but delivers nothing. The second mistake that quietly destroys your progress is just as common, maybe even more: you're not eating enough to support growth or recovery. A lot of people think they're eating plenty, but when they track it honestly for a few days, they realize they're far below what their body needs. And the issue isn't just calories, it's timing, protein intake, and nutrient balance. If you're constantly tired, if your lifts aren't improving, if your body looks the same month after month, there's a very good chance your nutrition isn't backing your training. Your muscles need fuel to grow. They need protein to rebuild the fibers you break down during training. They need carbohydrates for energy and glycogen restoration. They need fats for hormone production. But many people underconsume without realizing it, especially if they're trying to lean out while also trying to gain muscle. Your body won't build muscle in a calorie deficit unless you're brand new to training. For most people, you need to be eating at least at maintenance or slightly above for real growth. This doesn't mean you need to eat junk food or force feed yourself. It means you need to intentionally supply your body with the nutrients it requires. That includes spreading protein throughout the day, not skipping meals, and not relying on supplements to do the job that whole food should handle. And hydration matters more than people think. Muscles are mostly water. Your performance, strength, and recovery all fall apart when you're dehydrated. Sometimes the difference between feeling strong in a workout and feeling flat isn't your sleep or your motivation, it's simply that you haven't had enough water, electrolytes, or fuel. And speaking of recovery, that brings us to the third mistake, and this is the one almost everyone downplays: you're not giving your body enough rest to actually grow. Rest isn't a bonus. It's not something you earn after working hard. It is part of the process. Your muscles grow when you sleep, not when you train. Your nervous system resets when you rest. Your hormones balance during downtime. But far too many people underestimate the importance of recovery. They think taking a rest day means losing progress. They think sleeping less is just part of a busy lifestyle. They think pushing through fatigue is a badge of honor. But all of this works against your goals. Training breaks your body down, recovery builds it back stronger. If you're training intensely while sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, your body is constantly operating from a deficit. Your stress hormones stay elevated, your hunger signals get disrupted, your recovery slows down, and your workouts feel worse. People blame their training plan or their genetics, when really the issue is that they simply aren't sleeping enough or recovering fully. Rest also includes active recovery: walking, stretching, mobility work, slow movement that stimulates blood flow without adding stress. That helps repair tissue and reduce inflammation. A rested body performs better, builds muscle faster, and stays healthier. Skipping recovery is like building a house without letting the foundation settle. You can keep working, but eventually the structure collapses. And let's not forget mental recovery. If you're always stressed, always rushing, always overwhelmed, your body feels that. Stress affects everything from digestion to sleep to hormone balance. And if those systems are off, your progress slows down dramatically. Fitness is not just lifting weights. It's a full body, whole life process. Now that we've talked about the 3 mistakes: ineffective training, underfueling, and lack of recovery, let's zoom out and recognize the big picture. Every single one of these mistakes comes from the same place: doing too much of the wrong thing and not enough of what your body actually needs. Fitness isn't about punishing yourself. It's not about grinding your body into the ground. It's about building something strong, functional, and sustainable. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need extreme routines or extreme diets. You need consistency, intention, and balance. One of the most powerful things you can do for your progress is to simplify. Choose a training program you can stick with. Commit to progressive overload. Track your major lifts. Practice proper form. Eat enough food. Get enough sleep. Manage your stress. These might sound basic, but when you actually do them consistently, everything changes. You start to feel stronger in the gym. Your energy increases. Your body composition improves. You recover faster. You stop second-guessing yourself. And most importantly, you start to see results, not temporary results, but real, lasting progress. And here's something else I want you to understand: the reason these mistakes are so damaging is because they create a cycle. When you train without structure, you don't see progress. When you don't see progress, you get discouraged. When you get discouraged, you either push even harder in random ways or you start to burn out. When you burn out, you lose consistency. And when consistency goes, results go. That cycle stops the moment you replace guesswork with a plan and replace punishment with purpose. Let me leave you with this: your body wants to grow. It wants to get stronger. It wants to adapt. You just have to give it the right environment. Respect the process. Respect recovery. Respect nutrition. Respect proper training. When you do that, you'll be shocked at what your body is capable of. Thank you for spending this time with me today on Healing Path. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want more real, practical guidance on building the healthiest, strongest version of yourself, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. This channel is all about helping you navigate the world of fitness with clarity, confidence, and knowledge without the gimmicks. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these mistakes you've struggled with the most, or what you want to hear about next. Your journey is your own, but you never have to walk it alone. This is Healing Path, and I'll see you in the next one.